episode 88. I'm Tiffany. Welcome back if you're a return viewer, and welcome if you're a new viewer. Thank you for joining me today. I am so sorry. It has been, 2-3 weeks since I've last podcast. I apologize. One weekend was super busy. It was the weekend right before Valentine's Day, my father-in-law's birthday. It was Valentine's Day. We'd like to spend some time with my father-in-law and mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and brother-in-law and the kids. I love seeing my nephews. So we had a super busy weekend with them, getting to see my mom. I don't think we've seen anybody since the holidays. So January was just a crazy month. My husband was sick, and so we didn't get really out on the weekends as much and to see everyone, and with his work schedule. So that week was crazy busy. The weekend after that, I don't remember now. That's how busy it gets. Oh, I got sick. That's right. That was the long weekend, I believe, and I got super sick. My husband had a sinus infection, and I caught it and got it like 100 times worse. And it's just been a little bit of crazy whirlwind, and then I started to travel for work. So I just got back from traveling, and that was fun. Also crazy adventures traveling. I never understand why this always happens. I knew with weather though, it could be where my flight got delayed and things like that. And so I took a safety flight, which means that there's always a later flight. Well, all the flights were canceled except for mine. So I got to the airport at like 4 o'clock, and our flight did not take off till pretty much 11 o'clock at night. We boarded the plane, I think it was about 10 something. And it was just one of those crazy sitting at the airport, but I got time to knit, so I finished my February socks, yay, which I'll show you in a bit. And it was just one of those crazy weekends. So this weekend again was a little bit of a busy weekend. It was the first weekend my husband was off in a while where we got to do things and had to get things done. And so I'm recording late Sunday night. But I'm recording. That's all that counts, because I missed all you, and I wanted to get a chance to catch up and let you know what's going on. So let me first start with my Pilates classes and bar classes. I have to tell you, I'm still loving them. I'm going to 3 classes a week as long as my travel doesn't interfere with it. So last week, due to the holiday Monday, I only got 1 class in, and that kind of sucked. But I really enjoy them. They are a lot of fun. My classes are all ages in there, and it's so much fun. And there's usually about 8 of us, which is a good number. It's not a big room, actually, where we have our classes, but it's a lot of fun. So I mix up between Pilates and bar, and wow, do you work legs and calves when you do bar classes. As I said earlier, I can't believe how much I forgot what ballet is like. I think I did ballet when I was like 3 or 4. And then I did dance all the way until my teens, but you don't remember that and how it is now. It's so different. It was a lot of fun, and I'm still enjoying that. And I go, as I said, 3 times a week minimum. I feel great. I do notice, I get sore muscles, which is great. It means I'm working them properly. I don't know if I've noticed any difference yet. I mean, it's still new, and usually you don't start to see a difference until at least 3 months in. And so I'm now technically in my 2nd month. Yes, I believe I'm in my 2nd month already. And so it's great. I'm really enjoying it. I'm still going. And as far as I know, I'm going to keep this up. So I'm really excited because I really enjoy it. Now let's get on to knitting, because it is a knitting podcast. So let's start off with Diamonds Are Forever. And excuse me, I'm going to turn, but everything's behind me today. I'm podcasting again in front of let's see if I can do this. There's my, this is my husband's Batman, but it's ours. And there's my Catwoman, or Batgirl. Oh, why did I say Catwoman? Batgirl. And behind me, which I don't know if you can ever see, right there, that is Poison Ivy. So this is kind of my new little favorite spot. I am a huge superhero fan. And so it kind of just is a little spot in our house. We have tons of DC, more DC, I think, than Marvel, definitely, in our house. And we are more bigger DC fans because my husband is Batman. Shh, don't tell anyone. And I am a huge Wonder Woman fan, but I also do love, Batgirl and Catwoman and all that. I love the women's superheroes. Anyways, so Diamonds Are Forever. I finished my February Desert Vista Dye Rock socks, and I love them. I really do. This colorway is on a bling base, which is phenomenal, and you can see it there, all the bling. It is Bond, James Bond is by Who Loves Me, and I thought it would be perfect for February for the colorway. I love how it goes from, so there is a teal, it's like a brownish purple into just the white, black, red, pink, and then this tealy color. And for some reason, I found this base a little bit thicker than normal with her bling base. Normally I do 68 stitches. These socks fit me perfectly. There's no stretch to them, meaning like they're not knitted too tight. Sometimes even at 68 stitches, I still have a tightness to them. I don't with these. I found for some reason that it felt like the yarn was a little bit thicker on this one. I don't know, could be totally me. I did toe up socks like I normally do, 2 at a time, magic loop, which I love to do. I won't knit my socks any other way. I did a gusset increase with a Flegel heel, and this time what I did was I knitted all the way to my Flegel heel. I don't even know if they are exactly the same. Oh my god, they're pretty much perfectly the same. You can see my heels. They pretty much match perfectly the same. So I knitted all the way up, and then what I did was I cut the yarn, found some more pink, like I found where this pink started again, and then just rejoined on the pink and then knit back up. So I only had to do it once, which is good. I wasn't complaining. 68 stitches on a 2mm needle, which is a size 0 US. I'm learning that one. I did 3 inches from the heel to the bottom of the cuff, and the cuff itself is an inch. This one is, I think, exactly the inch that it needs to be. And so I started with a pink toe, I got into a pink heel, which was funny how it just worked out, and I ended with a pink cuff a little bit there. So I really enjoyed this, knitting this up. For some reason, this feels like it flew off my needles. I think sometimes the colorways really do help. I don't know if you guys feel that, but sometimes when you know you really knit something that you love, it seems to go faster. I've been trying to knit every night on them and at least try to get 3 rows of colors, which is basically it's 2 inches. It's an inch on each sock that I get. And I try to do at least that every night. It was 20 days these socks took to knit, but literally it's actually probably less because there was a couple days in there that I know I didn't knit. And I get a lot of knitting time when my husband works on the weekends, like the Friday nights, Saturday, Sundays. That's where I get a lot of knitting time in, and that's where I find like I can get probably a good 2 or 3 inch chunks in there and do that. When I was sick, I really didn't knit those days. I was so sick the Saturday and the Sunday. I don't know if I even picked up my knitting. I just, you know, when you just feel awful, I just kind of vegged and slept a lot and just tried to fight off what I had. Antibiotics were not helping me. So that's exactly what I tried to do. So as I said, there was a couple days where I didn't. So basically, I think I started first, 20th is where I finished off, but there's some days in there that I didn't knit. So I know it took less than 20 days. And I think as long as I keep up with making sure I get at least an inch, so 3 rows on both socks every night done, then I can get them done within the 2-3 week time period. And I did Jenny surprisingly stretchy bind off on the top here. And I know some people will bind off, I did like a 2x2 rib. So now I know some people will bind off in the rib. I don't. I bind off a knit stitch all the way around just because I like the look of it, and I really have no problem with it at all. It's a great bind off when you're wearing it, you don't see it, and I'm not picky like that, so it doesn't bother me. But I really, really enjoyed these. They're perfectly matched. Of course. It's something I try to. I really do try. I really like them to match as possible. So this was a joy to knit. I had fun knitting it. This is my only finished object. So I only get so much knitting time a day with working and everything else, and now working out. That has to fit in my schedule. And that's probably about an hour and a half, 3 days a week that I take out of my time to go work out. I get at least an hour or so every night to knit on these. At least I try. And then there's everything else in life that I got to still work with. So that's it for this. So thank you. And since we're still on the Desert Vista Dye Works topic, sorry for turning around again, my upcoming March colorway, I was torn. I have a couple of her colors still. I'm getting low. Oh, can you believe that? I'm getting low. I have 3 colorways, I believe, left of hers. Oh, Clark, was one of them, which I really wish I would have got in bling base. I think now all my socks from her have to be bling base. There's just a difference for me, and I just love it a little bit more. I have Fight the Cure, I believe, and that's an old colorway. I think that might have been one of my first colorways, maybe even before Poodle Skirt, that I got from her way back. Like, we're talking maybe 2012, something like that. And I haven't knit that up yet. And then, what's the other one? Birthday Cake, which I think I got last year. I think that was part of my 3-pack or something like that, or the year before. I still love that color. I haven't knit that up. And that should have been on bling. Silly me, I don't know why I do that. From now on, everything is on bling from her. Just is so much nicer for me. So this one, I think I got this last year, and I'm going with this one just because March is a springy month. It's supposed to. Like right now we had hail coming down today, and it was cold and windy, and our winds sound like the house is gonna blow over. And so Mother Nature this year, it cannot make up her mind what she wants to do with weather. It's been like that craziness. So I thought spring is supposed to be warm and supposed to get nicer, and I thought this would be a great colorway because this is the time of year where the animals start to hibernate. At least they're supposed to be. So this is called Sleeping Zombie. I sound like Sleeping Beauty, get it? So again, this is a bling base. See how beautiful that is? I think this is going to knit up gorgeously. This is one of the colorways I believe that Ashley, knits up a ton of Desert Vista Works, I'll just call it DVD because there's a tongue twister, DVD colorways. She does a 12 a year, and she always picks the most beautiful colors. Plus she likes a lot of pinks, blues, purples, teals, and so I love that. And I think she was the one who inspired me to get this colorway, and I'm really happy, and I can't wait to knit this up. And this will be my March 1st cast on. So I'm excited for this, and hopefully if I could do February within 20 days and get those socks on and off the needles with time to spare, people, like, oh my goodness, then I should have no problem with my last one. And you know, it didn't even feel like this time that it was dragging on, or I didn't really feel like knitting them. Towards the end of my socks, that's where I kind of get bored, but then I also get excited going, oh, they're almost done. They're almost done. I got to get them done. So it's kind of like a catch-22 for me. I just wish I could knit them faster, or I guess faster, because I want to knit them in a shorter amount of time. Like if I could really get them down to 2 weeks, which would require a lot of knitting time for me, because for me, I'm not the fast knitter, so I don't have the speed. But if I had more time, maybe that's where I could put more hours into it and actually get more completed. If that'll ever happen, I have no idea. But it's okay. At least I get them still done with like a week or so to spare, and it gives me a chance to work on something else, or even just relax my hands from knitting, because knitting with the small needles and having the arthritis in my hands get really sore. And so sometimes I just like to relax them. I massage them out for that time period. I wait. And if I'm bored, I have my skirt that I still pick up and do a couple rounds on. And I don't show you that because there's never enough, I guess, growth on it from the last time. You'd never even be telling me I can even knit on that. So what else have I done though? Have I done anything else? I've woven in most of my ends on some of the socks that I've had. I still have a couple pairs of socks that need some ends woven in, so I was doing that in between last month when I finished my socks early. And I actually ripped back a pair of my socks. Shocking, eh? I don't know what I was thinking, but I ripped them back because I wanted them a little bit longer. I think I did them really short, and I didn't really like the way I did them, so I wanted them a little bit longer, so I ripped those back. And just adding a little, I think an extra inch to the leg, and then do an inch and a half on the cuff, something like that. So I still have to work on that. And really, that's about it. I've been dying to cast on some yarn to do a hat. I love making hats. I just don't know the pattern. That's the hardest thing, is either I find the pattern and I don't have the yarn because it's a solid color and most of my yarns are not solid, or I have the yarn and I can't find the pattern because some of these gorgeous patterns require solid color yarns and not variegated. It's like, what do? Do you just try it out? I know I could try it out and rip it out. I just hate ripping out all that time and work, because usually I don't get to see something until it's fully done to understand and see what it exactly looks like on, and make sure it's the one that I really love. And I have a hat that I did last year. Yes, it was for the, it was Fibronith. That's her yarn, the one in the Whoville colorway. Welcome to Whoville. and I did the hat, and it was a Hohi hat, which is a great hat to do. I just don't know if I like the pattern and the hat together. I haven't even worn it once because every time I look at it, I'm like, I'm not sure. Knitting it up was fun. The colors are beautiful, love them. I just don't know. So that's another one that's been on my mind to say, hey, should I rip that all out? Because I used every single piece of yardage on that yarn. It's all in that hat. So I'm just thinking, should I just rip it out and find something new to do with that and find a different pattern? I haven't worn it. You know, and for me, if I don't wear something, especially in a colorway I love, it means I'm not happy with it and it's not something I want. So I think I might have to change that up. But in the meantime, this is March's colorway that I'm going to do, and I'm really excited with that. So moving on. Oh yeah. So I didn't even know I was going to receive this. I thought this was kind of something like, I guess I just forgot about it, or I thought I received all our packages. So this is Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. Can you believe I have something? It wasn't something I bought recently. Even when I traveled, I didn't go to any yarn shops. I didn't have the time. This time I traveled to Philly. Literally, as I said, my flight's delayed. I got in to the hotel just after 1 o'clock in the morning. I was exhausted. I had to be up at 7, and by the time I got in my room, settled and in bed, was about 2 o'clock. So now I had to be up at 7 in the morning, and I was exhausted. And sleeping in a hotel room, I don't get much sleep. I don't sleep well away from home, and so it was a tough one for me. But I did it. I got up, no problems. I got, went to the hospital, and I literally spent the whole day at one facility from, what time was it? 8 something in the morning until pretty much 4:30, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So I spent the whole day there. So I was going to stop into Loop because, I love Loop in Philly on the way to the airport. But by the time I figured that out, got my stuff together, tried to get a cab out of the hospital, it was already like 5:30. They closed at 6. With traffic, it was going to take me 15, 20 minutes to get there, and I didn't want to walk in at like 5:02 because there's no way at Loop I can walk around that store for like 5, 10 minutes and find something. That store is beautiful, and the colors they usually have in there are stunning, and the yarns and the brands, and yeah, so I needed more time, and I didn't want to be one of those shoppers that walked in last minute and be like, hey, I'm from Canada. Do you mind if I spend some time looking around? Because I don't get here often, and I'll hold all of you up, and that way you can stay here. No, that's not what I wanted to do. So I just decided to suck it up and be like, nope, we'll go to the airport, I'll grab some dinner, and not to worry, we'll just sit there and knit. And I had my socks that I ripped out, so I was working on that a little bit at the airport. Because again, I got to the airport 2 hours early, which was, more than enough time for me. My flight did leave on time, which was great. And then I finally got home, which was really nice, and I enjoyed that. So it was a little crazy. So in the meantime, I totally forgot that I got a Stitch Jones package. This was sorry for the crinkly sound. This was from the, last year I did, this was one of my purchases last year, and it was a quarterly club, and I guess I forgot that we were supposed to get it. I don't know what happened. I guess it was supposed to come around November, December, maybe. I don't even remember, but it doesn't matter. It was such a surprise in the mail. I really enjoyed it, and I couldn't believe it. So this here, I'm trying to see if she sent me a main page or if this is all pattern, because I haven't opened it up yet. Nope, there's nothing else in it. So she sent us a beaded hat, singled out by Jen Guintoli Designs. I'm going to butcher that, so why would I even say that? There you go. And I wish it was in color, but it's not. And it has beading, it looks like, to it. I wonder if you can see that. I'm sorry it's black and white. As I said, I didn't know what to expect in here. So we got this hat. It's a 3-page pattern. Yeah. And it looks like there's YouTube. I love when people include, for stitches and things like that. So when designers include YouTube links or things like that for stitches that they do, something that's different or unique, or maybe a different cast on or anything, it's such a great help. I really appreciate that because they take their time out to do it. If they link it to their own or to someone else's, a lot of them link it to their own, and it's really nice to be able to have that. So, oh, totally my colors. So this is Midnight Grace Potter. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This is it says a Cali worsted. 85% fine merino and 15% silk. It's 210 yards. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh my goodness, I love this. Oh, look at that. Totally my colors. Oh, and it's so squishy and soft with the silk in it. This is gonna have to be a hat for me. I think so. I love this. Oh, look at that. Totally love that. I just love the softness. You can really feel the silk in it, and the sheen from the silk is so pretty. This was really, I have to say, I really enjoyed her club that I got. This was the first one I've done in a long time where I didn't know what the colors were. I know I messaged her and said I'm not a big red, orange, kind of yellow, well, orange I like, but red and yellow fan, I'm not really a big person on that. I don't know, if she had other colors you can send. I didn't check anybody else's thread out, but I really am happy with everything I received from her and the different bases and colors. So this is my first skein. My second skein, oh, I dropped something. Oh, look at this. This is totally springy. So this is a sparkle DK. Like, seriously, everybody knows I like sparkles. 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, 5% stellina. It's called Paris, Ooh La La, Grace Potter. And I think it's 231 yards. It's cut off a bit, but look how pretty that is. That's very springy, purple and the green. And that's really nice. I'm going to bend out a screen for a second because I dropped a stitch marker. Can you see that? Maybe I should take it out of the bag. And so this was my last one. I dropped it again. Silly me, 1 second. I'm sorry, I'm at a screen. Okay, let's try this again. There you go. Can you see that now? So it's on a big wire hoop, which is perfect. I can use it with pretty much any size. It's really pretty, and thank you for that. And as I said, this was a great club. I really enjoyed it. The fact that you get 2 skeins of yarn and they're different weight, different colors. They've added to my stash. Like, I need more stash because I don't. But just to make sure there's nothing else in there. I don't need more stash, but it's always nice to have something. And I love surprises. Like, I love it. This I super love. This is probably my favorite color out of her whole club shipments she sent to me. I liked some of the other ones too, but this is my favorite. I think there was sports socks I got at the beginning, like a sport weight that I could do sports socks, which I've always wanted to do. These would be super cool. Actually, this is a DK Sparkle. I also want to do a pair of DK socks. These might be really pretty for a pair of socks. I know they're sparkle and they're DK, but this might be pretty because it's something where it's not a bad green for me. I actually don't mind this green, and I really like purple, so this might be nice. And this reminds me of lilac, like lilac trees. I don't know why it does, but growing up, my grandmother had lilac trees in her backyard. The minute you came off her deck, there was these massive purple lilac trees, and I always remember the fragrance when you'd sit on her deck or open her back door. The fragrance from these trees were phenomenal, and they were one of my favorites, and it's always something that stuck with me that I don't ever forget. And I can't tell you the last time my grandmother passed away when I was 13, so it was probably just before that I got to smell those trees, and it's been that long. But and every time I smell lilacs somewhere, especially the purple ones, it just brings me back that memory. But these colors totally bring me to that because that's what exactly it reminds me of. Some of them were like the soft purple, and then they had the darker purples in it. So this is beautiful. I really enjoy this. This is stunning. I really enjoy this. See, now I have to find a hat pattern that works for this. And it has silk in it, so the silk would be nice. 210 yards. Yeah, I know there's tons of hat patterns I have, and I have hat patterns in my library. So I'm gonna check my library first in my queue, see if I have anything in there that this works for. And if not, then I'll check some free patterns. And I know there's some new patterns that came out that I really wanna do. I just wanna try to use stuff out of my stash. That's what I'm trying to do this year. I'm really trying to use yarns out of my stash, trying to use patterns that I already have. It's not that I don't want to spend money, trust me. It's not that I don't want to spend money or buy new yarn or support indie dyers or designers, because I love to. And there's times where I've just been bought patterns just to support somebody because I just felt like that's what I want to do. And so I buy a pattern, or I gift a pattern to somebody because I want to just support them. And this year, I just feel that, not that I'm overwhelmed, because I'm not, but I have so much yarn. And my problem is I have a lot of variegated. I don't have a lot of tonals or solids. They're all some kind of mixture of color. And for me to mix them together is great, as long as we stay on, like, you know, a kick of having all these garments and things that you can knit with, you know. I don't have a lot of speckled yarns, but I do have a lot of variegated. So putting them together, doing like, you know, a fade with something, I could do that. I haven't knit anything like that yet. I don't know if it's just something because I haven't had the time to look and see what I want to do. This year I wanted to actually make more garments, but now I'm like, I don't know if I want to do that anymore. You know how things just change? I don't know. I have so many other ideas and things I want to do. So right now this DVD, this is not DVD, this DVD, January, February, March, I have the Cal going on in the group, so don't forget to add your pictures there and post all your stripy. It has to be stripy. So it could be stripy yarn you're using, or you can create stripes, but it has to be stripes that I have to see. That is the key thing. And it has to be a minimum 50 grams of yarn, I believe, used. And as long as it's stripes, join the Cal, put your stuff in there. Doesn't matter what it is, a hat, mitts, socks, sweater, whatever you like. Like if it had stripy arms on a sweater or something like that. That Cal's going on until the end of March, so that's it for that. After that, I'm just debating what to do for April, May, June. I'd love to do maybe a summer tee or a tank top or something like that and get into that, but I'm not sure yet. So as it gets closer to that time, I will let you guys know. And as I said, thank you for some of the suggestions that you've given me about doing Cals. I really appreciate that. I like knowing what you guys like to do, and I want them to be fun and exciting and enjoyable to do for you, so that they can also maybe work with other Cals that you're doing. And so I like to try to keep them sometimes fun and simple. It's all about having fun. That's all it's all. That's what it is. Life's about having fun. It's too short not to have fun, and you have to enjoy it, right? So I also wanted to give a couple shout outs to some podcasts, just because I fangirl sometimes. And when people comment on my podcast or watch my podcast and I find out, like Simply Noble, I find out they watch my podcast, I totally fangirl. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the new people that have joined my podcast. I hope you really enjoy it. I am one person. I don't knit fast, but I love what I do and I do knit. I am not a process knitter. I'm totally a product knitter, and I knit majority for myself. Unless I'm doing gift knitting, and that is rare, but there are times where last year I did some baby gifts for some friends. Did I do a cowl? No, I never got the cowl down for my mom. Maybe I should do that this year. But I do, most of my knitting is for me. And so I love watching other knitters on Instagram, seeing what they do, what they post, colors they use, and things like that. So thank you for watching, and as you go check out her blog, actually Simply Noble has excellent blogs. I mean, the information you'll get is amazing. And who was the other one I wanted to mention? How come I'm going brain dead today? I'm going to go back to some of my old ones that I actually watched. The Knit Girls. I love watching them. I started the Knit Girls over 7 years ago, maybe 8 now. Oh, maybe 9. Wow, do I lose track of time that quickly? I do. Leslie and Laura, they're still one of my favorites. I always have time to watch them. I'd say the last month or so, I've been really bad with podcasts, and I've been super behind on them. Knitting Vicariously, oh, I love her. So I will warn you, she swears, like she curses. Not through the whole thing, but she has curse words in there. And if you're not one of those people that like to listen to someone cursing, then she's not for you. But she is hysterical and brilliant knitter. Like, her sweaters that she does are absolutely beautiful and brilliant. She does color work in the yoke sweaters, and then she does hats and all this other stuff too. But wow, and I love her personality. I love her character. She's beautiful. She's just, yeah, she's great. Try watching her if you like. I'm telling you, she's fun. You'll really enjoy her. Kristen Vollenvine, I love how she redid her whole channel, and I still really enjoy watching her. She is a fantastic indie dyer. She's been also one of the ones I've been watching for probably at least, I'd say 5-7 years, maybe plus, I don't even know. and she is just an inspiration. I love to see when she sews too. I think that she just is as all-around talent, and she's great, and she is just fantastic to watch. She's got some personality, and she's just a lot of fun. So check her out. The who else? I know, sorry, that's my kitty talking to me. The other one that I like to watch is, of course, Diane from Suburban Stitcher. She is one of my favorites. I just love her southern sweetness, and getting to meet her in person at the Knit for Fun retreat last year. What an honor it was. She is just a beautiful, brilliant person. She has, if you ever buy her yarn or you need help with colorway, she has this ultimate talent of picking out colors and putting colors together, and her podcast is phenomenal. She talks about her business, her yarns. She still makes bags. She does plan projects together with other makers out there. Honestly, she's great, and she knits a lot too. She's beautiful. Beautiful. Her stuff is stunning too, and plus she loves pinks, which I really enjoy because I really like pinks. So I love watching her with all her pinks. And those are probably my top right now. Who else do I watch? There's so many out there. It's incredible how many new ones pop up even every day. Knitting Samurai is one of my ones that I've been watching for years. She's coming on and she's back again, and I watch her. And I'm just trying to think who else that is usually on my list of podcasts that I do. Oh, Periscoping Sisters, Three Sisters Knits, All Dyed Up. You guys got it. Some of these are Canadian, so if you haven't watched them, watch them. And oh, one last thing. So I will give you guys a heads up. I was contacted by Kawartha. I go blank when I want to say it to you. I was contacted by Kawartha Fiberfest, and they are going to be sending me out some tickets to give away to the viewers. Yay! I am so excited. I thought that was the sweetest thing. So they will be done in April and May, the giveaways. So keep watching for those, because you can get some free tickets to go to the Kawartha Fiber Festival. Last year was amazing. It was in a high school. It was in a two rooms. Sorry for people wearing headsets. Excuse me. It was done in 2 rooms. It was good laid out, and it was a little warm because it was summertime, but I went through later in the day only because I don't need the morning rush. Whatever's there when I get there is fine, and you know, I'll be happy to see it. Mostly I love to see the people. So this year I'm hoping to go again, and we have, as I said, I'll have some tickets to give away. So you might be able to get in free and get to go, and hopefully you can. It's a great festival, and I know there's a lot of people that come from all over to this one, and it's really nice. It's not far. It's up in the cottage country. It's a beautiful area, and it's a lot of fun. So just wanted to let you know that, and keep an eye out for that. As I said, those will be April, May. Okay. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a great time with me today. I hope you come back again and watch. I really enjoy spending time with you. Have yourself a wonderful day. Happy knitting, and until the next episode. Bye for now.